A fiery commitment ceremony, and some harsh words from the married at first sight experts seems to have worked on Carolina. She visits Dion and tells him she's willing to put an effort to build a friendship. Dion too is willing to be amicable and build a friendship. We can forget what's happened. Let's enjoy this week and see where it takes us, he says, and they hug it out. Surprisingly, this doesn't stop Carolina from messaging and planning to meet up with Daniel, despite being cheated on by an ex in the past herself. They catch up again, this time over cocktails. "You look nice and green," Daniel says in what is a very awkward attempt to compliment her dress. It becomes very clear Daniel, who has at least 3 shirt buttons undone, has no trouble flirting with Carolina. They say it's going well, but for us it's just real awkward. The connection is intense. We're touchy. We're open. I think Carolina is definitely into me, Daniel proudly tells the camera. He goes in for a kiss, and Carolina gives him her cheek. She tells him they should wait longer. By longer, Carolina means around 30 minutes, when they disappear to where they think the camera can't see them and share a kiss. "That's hot. I like that," Carolina says. "Okay. Time to send any kids watching to bed." "I'm getting horny," Daniel tells Carolina, who says he's naughty. Meanwhile, back in his own apartment, Dion is holding on to hope that he'll be able to make his relationship with Carolina work. Over in Domenica and Jack's apartment, she's still fuming after being called a bully by Olivia at the commitment ceremony. "The worst possible thing that anyone could say," Domenica says passionately. "I don't even want to see them in the hallway." Domenica and Olivia went head-to-head at the previous commitment ceremony. But Olivia doesn't look to be backing down either, who likens Domenica to a yapping chihuahua. Meanwhile, Brent surprises Tamara with a stunning bunch of flowers. She's initially excited, that is, until she reads that the card is addressed to Mrs. Vitiello. "That was a LOT. I am one to take things a bit slow when it comes to relationships," she says. Over at Samantha and Ul's apartment, he plucks up the courage to talk about her writing leave at the recent commitment ceremony. It doesn't go well. Ul tells her he's tried to be deep with her, but she's just been getting moody, and he goes back into his shell when it happens. "You are literally turning this on me," Sam snaps. "That's absolutely not how that happened. You haven't asked once much about me." Sam reveals what led her to write leave at the MAFS commitment ceremony. "I should be the one writing leave the way I've been treated." "The temper you have," Ul says. "You're painting me like an a-hole." "Are you joking?" she fumes. "You are literally attacking my personality. You are so nasty." "I am not an aggressive person. I am passionate." Samantha fumes after Ul tells the bride she has a temper. Ul is standing by his words and Sam is furious. "You're a joke, Ul," she says as she walks out. The couples retreat. The couples head off to the couples retreat, the next phase of the experiment. As the couples arrive, the first priority for everyone is the bedrooms. Not wanting to sleep with Dion, Carolina snaps up a single bed. But she's got a bigger issue, Domenica. So far her plan is to drown her in the pool. We think Carolina might need a plan B. In pictures, a sneak peek inside the couple's retreat, more than $6,000 per night. Olivia too has concerns about Domenica and says, "If she does come for me on this retreat, it's going to be hard to hold back." Meanwhile, Domenica is having issues with Jack and she vents about it to the girls. "We haven't had sex in almost 2 weeks, it's been ages," she explains. "He never makes me feel sexy, it's very confronting. As an Italian, I can say volume control is not one of our strengths." So, it's really no surprise Jack, who's playing bocce with the boys, overhears everything. "I feel blindsided. I genuinely thought we were in a good spot," Jack tells the camera. "I'm pretty hurt right now. I feel like . It doesn't take long for it to get back to Domenica, who feels horrible about it, so she goes to find Jack. I never thought it was malicious, but I thought I had made a turn and was making you feel beautiful, Jack says. It's just that I don't really feel wanted by you. We don't have those conversations, she says. No. F off. I am not going to, Jack begins, but Domenica cuts him off. I will F off then, she fumes as she gets up to leave. Domenica blindsides Jack with brutally honest comments at couples retreat. Don't ever tell me to F off. Even if it was a figure of effing speech. MAFS bride Domenica opens up about her Vegemite obsession. It's time for the brides and grooms separate for a boys and girls night. The boys raid Dion's wardrobe and around in his clothes. The vibes are all time, they are having a ball updating phone backgrounds to be pictures of one another, and for some reason, Ol decides to strip down and jump into a murky pond nearby. The girls' night is very different. After Domenica shared her issues about her sex life with Jack, Olivia decides to fill everyone in on her day. I had the most intense orgasm I've ever had this afternoon, she tells the table. I legit blacked out. Tensions are building, which gets worse when conversation turns to the heated conversation between Domenica and Carolina at the commitment ceremony. It was shocking to me. I wasn't giving advice. I was plainly saying, "What the hell did I just see?" Domenica tells Carolina. I just don't think you treated him, Dion, like a human being. You don't like Dion, but that doesn't mean you have to be AB to Dion. Carolina fires back, well, that doesn't mean you have to be AB to me. As things continue to escalate, Olivia jumps in. Choose your words really carefully because when you swear, Olivia begins. Domenica interrupts her to say, I really hate being told use your words wisely. I'll choose my words because they are my words. Olivia again brings up the commitment ceremony, which Domenica calls boring, and it really kicks off. You know what, Dom? I'm sick of hearing you yell, all the effing time, Olivia explodes. Olivia fires up at Domenica. I'm sick of your voice yelling. I'm bored of your effing voice. I'm losing my mind. It's all that I hear, all the effing time. All I've heard you do tonight is yell. I'm sick of it, Dom. I'm sick of it. I'm trying to speak and you're sitting there going, I'm bored. I'm bored of you yelling. It's really effing rude, Dom. Domenica tells her that's just the way she speaks, but Olivia thinks it's not nice, which only makes things worse. It's not okay, Olivia snaps. So my voice isn't okay? Domenica asks. Apparently not, Olivia confirms. Is she effing serious? Domenica fumes. My entire effing life I've been effing told that my voice isn't effing enough. In a rage, Domenica picks up her wine glass and smashes it down on the table. After hearing Olivia's complaints over her voice, Domenica gets fired up and smashes a glass. It shatters, the yelling continues and Domenica stands up to lean over the table. You know what drives me effing crazy, she fumes. You screaming at me and telling me that my voice isn't enough. It's my voice. It's literally the way I talk. It's not okay. It's aggressive, Olivia says, clearly not backing down. Let's just take 5. It's enough, Samantha calls, trying to defuse the situation. But Domenica is inconsolable and walks off. That's just too much. I'm over this. I'm over this, she sobs. At the end of the night, Olivia is standing by her actions. I did my best to sort of dish out to her what she dishes out to everybody else, and I think the proof is in the pudding that she just can't take it, Olivia tells the camera. We've got a feeling this isn't over. Married at First Sight airs Sunday at 7 p.m. and Monday to Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 9 and 9 Now. Catch up on every episode of MAFS for free on 9 Now.